Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. In this session, we will see some more details about how this process of continuous improvement has evolved over a period of time. In the sum of the previous session, I have spoken about the need for the entrepreneur to continue to explore improving his profitability through continuous improvement. And we also saw some history about last 100 years, how the industries have been rediscovering their own business models and then improving upon it continuously. So let us take the one which came initially as an organizational intervention, which is ISO 9000. Many times people ask what is the difference between ISO 9000, then subsequently it becomes Six Sigma, and then we are talking about theory of constraints and so on and so forth. So I would like to give you a very bird's eye view at the 40,000 feet perspective that what these individual interventions are. When I say intervention, what we really mean is you take an organization which is pretty old, and then over a period of time it feels that it has become inefficient, and then it wants to rediscover whether there is any opportunity for improvement. So from 1990 onwards, particularly worldwide, this awareness came that you need to set up a quality management system for driving customer satisfaction in your company. So when you say a system, that means the system can be different from different organizations depending upon the kind of product they manufacture, the kind of customers they are catering to, and so on and so forth. So the various thoughts came that you must give some broad high-level guidelines which became the code of practice published by the International Standards Organization as what is called ISO 9000 standard. So let me give you some broad perspective about what is the background of this great quality management system standard. So it basically assumes that every company has got a customer and then the company is trying to produce a product or service to satisfy the needs of the customer. So if you want to consistently satisfy the customer, so the organization must have certain quality control systems in order to ensure that every product and service it is delivering to the customer is meeting and exceeding the expectations of the customer. So unless otherwise the organization has got a well-structured management system, it may not be able to continue to deliver those kind of a consistent service to the customer. So that is the broad idea of ISO 9000. First of all, it defined what do you mean by quality. Because it's extremely important to understand what is the very basic definition of the word quality. And we will see in more detail as we go along the various concepts in this series. But quality is nothing but the ability of the products or service to meet the customer's expectation. So which is the most simplest way of defining the quality. Like for example, if a company is delivering insurance policy, for example, so the customer has got certain expectation when he is going to take the Mediclaim or any other kind of insurance policies. That means the service that the insurance company is delivering to the customer must meet all the requirements and expectations of the customer. So that is what we say quality. That means when the products or service is meeting the expectations of the customer, that means the company has delivered the quality to the customer. So if we have to consistently deliver the quality, the organization must have a quality assurance system. A quality assurance system is nothing but the various stages of the products are manufactured and the service is delivered. The company has got certain type of systems, processes and controls by which they are able to deliver the quality consistently. So creating a generic standard like this, broadly giving a model and then the various complaints, requirements, etc., So the International Standards Organization formulated a technical committee with lots of quality experts across the various industries, and then it created a standard called ISO 9000. So from 1987 onwards, this standard has been in vogue, and lots of companies were trying to embrace this quality management system. Thereby, they are trying to create a wireframe of the management system for consistently delivering the quality. So that's what is the background of ISO 9000. Just to give you some more detail, the earliest form of ISO 9000 gave 20 clauses. That means each clause means it is a statement of a requirement, meaning that if you are getting an incoming raw material, and there must be a quality control systems there. So when you are delivering a product to the customer, there must be a final inspection to be done, and so on and so forth. So each one of these requirements of the quality assurance system are called the clauses of ISO 9000. And every 5 years the standard has been improved and restructured and reoriented based on the various development that happened in the industries. So that gives you some basic idea that ISO 9000 is nothing but a code of practice, a guideline for setting up an outline of a management system in our company, by which we will be able to satisfy the customer consistently. So I'm sure that this has given you some kind of an idea what ISO 9000 is all about, and then in the subsequent sessions I will explain what are the other tools and techniques came subsequently and what they really mean, and how that can be adopted for the improvement of an organization. We will discuss that in greater detail. I hope the session is useful in terms of creating the building block for the profit leadership subject, and look forward to see you more and more in the detailed videos in the coming sessions. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a great day.